into the upper atmosphere, the stratosphere, where they'd reflect away sunlight and cool the planet. And I know for certain that that will work. Not that there aren't side effects, but I know. And there's some bad side effects, like it partially destroys the ozone layer, and I'll get to that in a minute, but it clearly cools down. And one other thing, it's fast. It's saying that you do some geoengineering for a little while to take the worst of the heat off. You could create an ice age at a cost of 0.0.
Hey, did you know that weather radar can show things other than storms, like here in this example? And this is actually something you'll see pretty often in the early mornings during spring, summer, and fall. You ever check?
My question is, have you tested the rainwater? And if you haven't, have you seen the results of our rainwater tests? And
all right, guys, welcome in, man. I couldn't get it on the right scene. Welcome in. We got tons of news to get into. Now, last night over Missouri, we got hit by this lightning storm, rain bomb, crazy hell. The lightning was like the worst lightning I've ever seen. I think Dutch even did a video on it, but I went to go watch it and it was gone. But yeah, we got just, I mean, trees were blown apart. I drove all over through southern Missouri today and over to the east, and I just seen tons of trees blown apart. I seen some of the new lights, the LED light poles that were just knocked over from being hit by lightning. It was insane storm last night. I was too damn tired to get up and film it. But yeah, man, mega lightning, and we know why. It's because of all the heavy metal particulates in the sky, which we try to prove every night, and hopefully you guys can hear me okay. All right, so let's get into the news. We'll get into the weather here in a minute. Well, this is kind of weather related. Let me cough here. It's raining plastic microscopic fibers fall from the sky in the Rocky Mountains. Remember the Pandora fog exercise by the Navy, where they'd come out saying they're creating carbon fiber clouds, you know, bunker fuels. Well, the discovery raises new questions about the amount of plastic waste permeating the air, water, and soil virtually everywhere on Earth. You know, part of the chemtrails and the cloud seeding is actually parts of plastic. That's why we're getting this stuff. Anyway, plastic was the furthest thing from this guy's mind when he been analyzing rainwater samples collected from the Rocky Mountains. I expected to see mostly soil and mineral particles, said the U.S. Geological Survey researcher. Instead, he found multicolored microscopic plastic fibers. This discovery, published in a recent study titled "It's Raining Plastic," raises new questions about the amount of plastic waste permitting the air. I don't know how to pronounce that. Well, we know it's coming out of the bunker fuels, out of the Navy, you know, Pandora fog exercises. It's coming out of the chemtrails, man. That's part of the mix in the chemtrails. Rainwater samples collected across Colorado and analyzed under a microscope contained a rainbow of plastic fibers, as well as beads, shards. The findings shocked Weatherby, what a name, Weatherby, who had been collecting the samples in order to study nitrogen pollution. So yeah, man, here we go. Nanoparticulates, man. See, we're just getting vindicated every single day on everything that we report. And then we had this that come out back on the 24th. The highest ever energy photons ever hailed from the Crab Nebula. So the light made its way to Earth from the Crab Nebula, a remnant of a stellar explosion or supernova. It's a gamma experiment, caught multiple particles of light or photons. Anyway, there's tons of articles on this. Crab Nebula blasts Earth with the highest energy photons ever recorded. This might have been when everybody was feeling really dizzy and off balance. Maybe this had something to do with it. So yeah, there's tons of articles on this. And a lot of people that's been with my channel for a long time, or even back when I streamed live footage from my observatory. Like, I'm really interested in space stuff. Here's some of the pictures that I've took. You know, you see a lot of guys out here with P900s and P1100s. They don't work very good for planetary photos, for the main. You know, you got to have the right cameras. Like, here's one of my best pictures of Saturn that I took. And if you go look through my video playlist, I show you how to process the pictures. I show you how to film them. I show you what I use. I mean, one of my top videos is processing Jupiter. This is the Whirlpool Galaxy. And I've got tons of different ones. Even got the shadow of the moons on Jupiter. Nice shadow of the moon right there. Here's the moon. There's the shadow of it. People, you know, say space is fake, but if you get a good telescope and you get the right cameras, you can get all kinds of stuff. That picture right there is not mine. This is the Osiris star. You know, a P900 is not going to pick up all these other stars. When this is a single star that I was trying to shoot. This is a single exposure, like a 5-second exposure. So you got to the Ring Nebula. So, I mean, I've done tons of photos on this. Let me see if I can get it to show you here's my telescope. This is an old 8-inch Meade, like a 80s. I bought it off eBay for like $400. Now this camera I found in a pawn shop. It's a Starshoot G3 color. This is the camera you need to film stars, galaxies, nebulas, stuff like that. You're not going to be able to do it with a P900. It won't do it. A P1000 don't even come close. You got to have the right sensors in the camera. And then for planetary stuff, I use a Celestron MP5 planetary camera. But yeah, you can catch some crazy stuff, man. That's why it drives me nuts when people say space is fake, when all you gotta do is get a telescope and you can film the satellites coming through. You can film the sunspots. There's Venus. I've seen so many photos, like on, you know, I'm not even gonna say their channel names, but like one day I took this photo a day. One of these bigger channels out here was saying there's something wrong with Venus, you know, and they have a cell phone, you know, with the star looking all weird. So I ran outside and I filmed it, and this is what it come out like. So, you know, you just got to have the right equipment for the job. Anyway, so we got done with that. Now here's another interesting thing. Yeah, they're good cameras for land-based, the P1000s, but for filming the sky, man, they don't have a big enough sensor in them. You got to have something that is very low light. All right, so here we go. A number of lightning strikes were recorded on Saturday evening, August 10th, within 300 miles of the North Pole. It was the most lightning strikes ever seen so far north. So a warmer Arctic in general provided the fuel for the lightning, producing thunderheads to move north. No, that's a freaking lie right there. What it is all the bunker fuel operations and all the aircraft that are spraying up there. We've been documenting it for a couple months now. They're bombarding it up there. They're trapping the heat in. They're filling the sky with tons of heavy metals and plastic. So that's a lie. So the very first sentence out of the National Geographic is a lie. So lightning happens all the time, but certain parts of the world gets far less of it than others, including near the North Pole, unless they're up there spraying. Lightning requires atmospheric instability, something that's set up when cold, parched air sits atop warmer, wetter air. Well, we've been seeing them steer the atmospheric river right up through the Aleutian Island chain, right into the Bering Strait. We'll see it tonight when we go check the mimic map. So you would think the National Geographic would be a lot smarter, and they would actually do research instead of hiding the real facts that we document every night. So, like, man, it's just all crazy. So over here in New Jersey, 14,000 people are facing a water crisis. And what it is they changed some of the pipes or something like that, and there's lead in the water. So now they're having to bring water, bottled water in, which we know is no good. So the EPA stepped things up on Friday. You know, when there's a water crisis, I mean, look at Flint, Michigan, they're still screwed. We pay all these money in taxes for our infrastructure, but yet it all sucks. But yet they want more money every year. They want more and more money, man. Do your jobs. Quit taking our money. We need our money to survive. So what they got an additive to the water that coats the pipes. What's that going to do to you internally? How about the people that don't watch TV or anything? They wouldn't even know about this, so they're probably drinking this stuff. So anyway, pray for people to awaken to this stuff. And then you get news like this. These Down syndrome artists launch a drag troupe or whatever the heck it is. See, this kind of stuff, you know, they want to say this is like, you know, they'll say don't like hate speech or this. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is the way they promote this stuff that confuses the kids. But if we want to speak truth on stuff, we are the problem because we don't agree with this. To me, this is just a psychological warfare, and then they're using people that may not be, you know, fully all there, and then promoting him, and it's just nuts. I think it's wrong, and it just shows where we are in the end times. So definitely spiritual warfare for sure. You know, where there's light, there's dark. So there we go. Anyway, flight canceled as thousands flood Hong Kong airport, closing in on a media mega merger. You know, what's going on over here, we need to pay attention to, which, you know, it's hard to get the news out of here. But, yeah, I can't go too deep in this because they'll hammer us on that. And then we got this. The rich and famous party for climate change. This is where, I haven't read this yet, so we'll just kind of look at this together. Farmers, ranchers, loggers in the Pacific Northwest have spent a lot of time over the past several months wondering how proposed climate change legislation will impact their livelihoods. Well, so far, it's took their farmlands, it's flooded away the farmlands, it's, you know, killed tons of livestock, and not just here in America. We're talking Australia, Europe, India, China, everywhere. In addition to dealing with the impacts of, they say, changing climate, it's actually climate control. Capital Press readers will have to deal with the impacts of solutions under consideration at varied levels of government, higher fuel bills, new fees, more regulations could easily put them out of business and unable to provide for their family. There's a war on our farmers. You know, when all these 14 states were flooded and, you know, millions of farmers' lands were just stolen. Now they're coming in there buying the land for pennies on the dollar. And this is all going to really come slamming us in the face by next year and the year after. So, and then these are the people, these are the technocrats that are going to be pushing all their, you know, to me, it's the conspiracy theory on the meat and on the, you know, all this stuff. They want to push all the Monsanto stuff, the GMO crops, the drought-resistant crops, that, you know, the DNA-changing food. They want us to eat the fake meat, petri dish meat, the meatless meat. I mean, all kinds of weird crap coming out. There's been articles on human meat. So this is just some nasty stuff. And these are the technocrats that are going to be pushing their agendas on us, and we will not comply. You know, these guys fly all these $1 million jets and giant ships that are putting off millions, you know, of cars worth of emissions to a day, but yet we're the problem. You know, over in we were talking about this, the Middle East. Now they have tons of weather modification programs going on in the Middle East. In fact, we'll bring them links up here in just a second. So the Middle East is thirsty for water. Can't just tow an iceberg for Antarctica. But it's not just money and engineering that stand in the way of the wild plan to tow an iceberg to the Middle East for fresh water. The scheme announced by the United Arab Emirates based that the widespread media coverage, including the Western Australian news, this concept of harvesting icebergs for water is not new. A plan from the 1950s embarked a 20-mile-long iceberg for towing. Another scheme announced in June, headed by a man who helped refloat the sunken cruise ship to estimated cost $200 million. But not a single block has yet been harvested. Anyway, just more insane stuff. You know, everything on, yeah, there they are. That's one of the main weather controllers right there in the Abu Dhabi. In fact, let me try to pull up some of these links. Okay, here's one of them. These guys are out of the Middle East. They made it rain over 90% of Iran just like a few months ago. They've been using weather generators since 1995. You know, look at their slogan here. We don't create clouds, we enhance them. And they pray to Allah, and the hour will not be set until the land of the Arabs once again becomes meadows and rivers. Now they have a plan, but they actually have a YouTube channel you can watch. They tell you when they turn the weather generators on and off. You know, they talk about all the everything that they're doing, the dust mitigation, pollution control. They have their meetings with the UN. You know, right here at June 21st, weather generator has brought rain clouds to Dubai. They have weather on demand all over the world, and people deny it. They call us conspiracy when we have the facts. We also have the Global Trading Company, who's an even bigger company. Now these guys are a little more nefarious. They want to take total control of the rivers of the sky and charge people by the barrel for it. See right here, look at right on their main page. We managed to change the route of a cyclone and lead its remnants to the Emirates, which led to rain and decreased temperatures by 9 degrees. Now I've been following these guys a while. They've done tons of stuff. Look, they offer cloud seeding technology, $10 a cubic meter. Seawater desalination technology, $50 a cubic meter. And Global Control Trading Company uses only natural climatic processes. $0.55 US per cubic meter of fresh water of natural origin. So basically, they want to take control of the atmospheric rivers of the sky, which we see they steer, all these companies steer the atmospheric rivers. They want to bottle it up or charge you for rain. It's like, you know, rain to order. If you don't buy into their thing, then you don't get rain. They'll drought you out. Here's how you have to buy for this stuff. It's called the Climate Cron. It's a cryptocurrency. This is the first cryptocurrency in the world provided by a real asset, the fresh water. They want to steal the freaking fresh water up in the sky. Just the way we reroute the rivers on the ground. They're rerouting the rivers of the sky. I'm going to play a little clip of another company out of Australia. It's called electromagnetic rainmaking. Let's just play a little clip here while I get some things together.
We're not using chemicals fired through rockets like other technologies use. We use a very gentle but powerful technology, launching electromagnetics into the atmosphere to modify the flow of the weather system over the ocean and drawing it into a target. So to try and keep it simple, we establish some kind of link with a weather system, and once we've seen through satellite meteorology that we have that link, we're able to draw that system in incrementally towards the target, such as in this case the Horn of Africa.
Mahendra, you call this project the Global Rain Project. Why the Global Rain Project?
Well, let me just step back. Ever since the beginning of civilization, mankind has diverted rivers on earth to wherever we wanted to practice agriculture. Now we look at the atmosphere. The oceanic, 90% of the rain, more than 90% of the rain falls on the ocean.
Sure.
It's only about less than 5% on earth. So the 90% that is above the oceans, these are fundamentally atmospheric rivers. And just the way we harvested rivers on earth, we should be harvesting now with new technology the rivers above the oceans and moving them to a target area. Now, why is it global? Global because climate is changing. We see the floods that are on, the droughts that are on. So weather is being modified by human activities and by natural phenomena. And today we have developed the technology, and I'm convinced that in 30 years we will be able to confront climate change with technology with which we can modify weather patterns. It's weather modification, because climate change has two elements. It gets hotter temperature and precipitation changes. So moisture patterns change. Now imagine when we get rain, temperature goes down. So when you think of climate change, which is hotter areas, and that's the challenge we have in sub-Saharan Africa, that it will get hotter. Many areas that produce crops will not be viable. So it is a global phenomena which requires global action, and that is why we are committed to put this in the humanitarian arena to begin with. And it should be governed and utilized at the global level by the global community.
He's from Australia, you're from Kenya.
All right, so there you go. So, you know, when they call us conspiracy theorists, is the mic working here? Test 1, 2. There it goes. It wasn't showing up on my levels here. So there you go. Here we are. We're looking at the atmospheric river. And anybody, if you're new here, make sure you hit the notification button every day. Check back. We do a video every day because there's a mass hiding of this channel. They are unsubscribing people like we're the plague. They're hiding the videos. And then when they do monetize a video, they bombard it with so many freaking ads. It's ridiculous. And it's not me doing it. So just for the people out there to know. But here's what they're steering. And I've been documenting this atmospheric river of the sky for about 6-7 years now. And it looks nothing like it used to look. And if everybody remembers the drought that California was going through, and then the Paradise Fire started, and then right after that, all this atmospheric river that's going up into the Aleutian Island chain, it was steered right into the Paradise Fire area long enough to wash away the evidence of the purpose, you know, burnout of a whole community. And then suddenly and mysteriously now it's being pulled up into where they're heating the next section. They're heating up here in the north. We've showed you about the underground tunnels that are going on up here. You know, I don't know if melting up here has to do with that or the resources yet. I'm still digging into all that. But this thing should be swirling all the way across. But look, they have every bit of atmospheric, all the big amounts of atmospheric moisture is right here where all the cyclones are hitting. And no moisture is getting over here into California. They're blocking it. It's just being blocked. But they are bringing it up through the Aleutian Island chain. Now, this atmospheric river used to go right up here into BC for years and years. You know, this thing should be swirling around and then swirling up. Every once in a while, a little bitty hunk would be going up into the midsection of the United States. But what they're doing now, they're pulling it all the way up into Canada. It's meeting with this atmospheric river. That's why we've seen the major floods. And you throw in all the ionospheric heating, all the cloud ionizers, and all the electromagnetic warfare that they're doing to steer this stuff. I mean, they could just use a NexRad to steer this atmospheric river. And from what I've learned is they actually target the high pressure systems, and they'll split a little chunk off that and turn it into a low pressure system. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's like my chat is froze up over there. I can't see anybody talking. I don't even know if we're streaming, to be honest, because the chat's not working. Let me go ahead and close this up to see if it helps. Hopefully we're streaming. Wow. Wonder if I ran out of bandwidth again. I've already paid for it once, so let me look here. Okay, so we're using... It's not showing up on here. All right, hold on. We're going to give this thing a second. I'm not seeing any chat messages at all. I don't know if I'm streaming. Let me bring the broadcaster up. It's not really showing hardly any drop frames, so maybe we're okay. Maybe it's just the YouTube is freaked out. Let me refresh the page here, guys, see if that's what it is. Because I lost everybody out there. Okay, audio's good, video's good. It just must have been my thing is messed up. Okay. Now they're all coming in like at 1,000,000 miles an hour. All right, guys. So I was going to go over this article, man, and check it out. It was coming out of the Australian news. It was the New Zealand, a month on gun buyback. And they were talking about how they bent up all the guns, like they destroyed all the guns through this buyback. There's a lot of strange things going on in New Zealand, you know, on top of being sprayed, on top of the rumors of the billionaires that are building bunkers over there. They're dropping the 1080, killing all the life. It's like they're clearing New Zealand out. First, they had to get rid of all the guns. But yeah, now the page is gone. It was just here, like just a little bit ago. So it's gone. And now we got more news coming out of Australia. Fracking ports and oil pipeline project worth $77 billion proposed for West Kimberley. Probably no matter what the people do here, they're going to put this in. They're going to be taking more land. And, man, you're going to get more bunker fuel operations out here. Polluted groundwater. It's just going to get, you know, really bad. Australia's, oh, I just reported on one of these giant ships yesterday. These are the ones carrying the bunker fuel. Fracking giving a bad name. Hell yeah, man. Remember the Clean Water Act? That wasn't about giving us clean water. That was about dumping frack water next to schools, allowing it. So here's some more. Measles cases triple around the world. Who warns? This year, 364,808 measles cases have been reported, compared to 129,000 in the first 7 months of 2018. Now, I've talked about this quite a few times. If you look at all the stats, you can go to the CDC site and all that. The measles hasn't killed anybody this year. It didn't kill, I don't think, anybody last year. I think 2017 it killed maybe 10 people. But if you look at the reports of the vaccine, the damage that the vaccine is doing, you've got over 9,000 people with adverse effects of the vaccine. And I can't remember how many people have died from the vaccine. So keep that in mind when they try to force you into these vaccinations. Now this comes out of a report here. Remember I reported on that crazy city that's going up in the Abu Dhabi desert, man. So the same area. The Saudi Arabia giving up a tract of land the size of Massachusetts, the world's first independent international zone. So under the leadership of a Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, a $500 billion mega city is being constructed in the northwestern corner of Saudi Arabia. This city is named Neom, and when it's fully completed, it will be approximately the size of Massachusetts. The Wall Street Journal was able to recently examine 2,300 pages of classified documents related to this project. The city of the future. It's also going to feature an artificial moon, just like over in China. And everyone living there will be subjected to 24-hour surveillance. In addition, we are being told that this will be the first independent international zone, and many are concerned about what exactly going to mean. This is going to be like a, remember that movie that came out about the people living in the dome? This is like a, this is just a big prison. Even though the climate of the region is extremely dry, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman plans to use cloud seeding project to produce rain wherever or whenever it is needed. In other words, the fact they will be using geoengineering to control the weather in this city, even in the city, is not even being hidden. And I've showed the clips of them, the same people. I have the clips of them showing their cloud seeding operations. They talk about it openly over here. You know, when you see floods, you know, wiping out a whole street, these guys are out here smiling. That's what they want. They want the floods. They want to turn the desert green. Now, over the last several days, we've just seen mass bunker fuel operations over here. Let me go ahead and try to add that layer. I haven't really looked at this map yet today. So to see if anything pops out. Some nights it's hard to see. And sometimes they're out refueling. So really, I'm not seeing no, you know, see a few of them. Look, here they are. Here's just a few of them. These long straight lines. Some of them are a little lighter, but here's another one. These are bunker fuel. So they are still, so you can't really see them that good until you put that layer on there. And then we can see them with the dark straight lines. Let me just kind of zoom around here, see if I see any more. Like even the big, there's another, the operation here off the Kamchatka Rush is still here, not as bad. So it's almost like they go hot and heavy for a week or two, and then they all have to refill. Yeah, so I'm not seeing, like, remember the big operation down here yesterday? Maybe this, all this yellow is the bunker fuel. Look, yeah, we don't even see one down here. Yesterday, there was probably 20, 30 ships out here deploying the bunker fuel. I got tons of people sending me photos from Oregon of the heavy aerosol spraying operations today. I mean, I had tons of emails with pictures. Here's a big hunk of them. You can see the big fat liners going across the sky and what it's turning into. So if you look at that first layer, that's when they first started the operation. Now look, they're using the cooler air off the mountains and also the cloud ionizers that are sitting up on top of these mountains. And then, yeah, so they're creating their own systems up here. It's looking pretty relatively light. I mean, we'll find out more when we look at the GOES 17. Still a huge mass spraying operation over Canada, Alaska. I gotta let this clear up a little bit, see if we can get this to clear up. I can already see all the crisscross patterns, and it's blending with the smoke. So you have a multi, chem fog up here that is not good for anybody. In fact, these could be fire accelerants. Wow, look at these heavy sprayers. It's starting to clear up now. Wait till it clears up really good. So all these chemtrails that are being sprayed up here is mixing with the fire smoke. Look how fast and how wide these chemtrails are spreading out. They're creating a blanket. Now, a blanket is not to cool the planet. A blanket is to trap the heat in. They're melting all this on purpose up here. So, wow. There's been a huge operation up here in Greenland the last couple weeks. They've been deploying the bunker fuel and the aerosols. Let's see if we got anything today. Gotta let it clear. I didn't get this thing loaded all the way. Yeah, I know. I'm still coughing. I am definitely feeling a lot better, but I still got my cough. I do smoke, so, that's part of it. Like, not going to take away my, oh yeah, here's some bunker fuel right here. So they're still laying bunker fuel down here, and then there's aerosols way up in the north of Greenland. We've seen what they did like a few days ago where they were tons of bunker fuel, and then they were spraying aerosols by the planes all the way around Greenland, and then they created this crazy storm that went over and hit Europe and Ireland and all them places. And here's the next wave that's going to hit them. Hey, thanks there, Lynn Sue. Oh yeah, we definitely trust the light. We're guided by the light. We do this, man, I could be doing so many other things. I've built this whole house by myself. I could be making videos on how to build a house by yourself. I could be making videos on how to build race car. I mean, I could be doing all kinds of stuff with my time. But instead, I'm trying to help humanity learn what's really going on. We got mass fires over South America, Brazil. Let's go ahead and check here the states. Hey, thanks out there, Bamboo. So we got another new deployment over Nebraska, Sioux City, Iowa, Sioux Falls. All this is going to track to the east, southeast. I think I haven't looked at the forecast models in a while. Florida, you're getting hit out there off the coast. Alabama's got some kind of chem fog going on. Yeah, and I can't really monitor chat a whole lot, but I wish I could. I did have a little app going the other day where it was showing, all the chat in one place. It had the YouTube on there, it had Facebook on there. Anybody watching these videos from all the different platforms, and it like disappeared off my computer. I don't know where it went. I can't find it. All right, so I'm just kind of getting this to kind of load a little bit. It might take it a minute here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this while that's loading, if it'll load. Let's check out the aerosols being deployed. That's all synthetic clouds over the East Coast. Here's all our, oh, look at that, Northern California. So you don't pick these up on the worldview map because of the time frame they take the 3 passes over the United States. So it just depends on when that pass comes through, how much they pick up. So there's the heavy. Here, we'll zoom in on that side because We got tons of aerosols being deployed. I seen them even up in Washington. So here's your evidence. Oh wow, look at the grid patterns right there. So we got to let this load. Let me just pause that and let that load. And then I can come over here and look at chat. And thanks to everybody that shares this information out. Thanks to everybody that suffers through the few videos that do get monetized. You know, that suffer through all the commercials that Google blast on there to get people not to watch. And you know, if it wasn't for you guys sharing these videos, forcing the issue, they would just keep turning this channel backwards. It's like a battle every day between new subs and unsubbing. It's just like crazy, man. So yeah, I'm just kind of giving this a second to load because this is blatant spraying. Look at that spraying operation right there. And hopefully this is coming in clear enough for you. But wow, mega spraying over Northern California, Oregon, and even Washington, Idaho. Yeah, look, they're spraying out here in the Pacific, so they're creating this whole system of man-made fake synthetic clouds. This is in no way water vapor. That's a disinformation campaign of the truth. Snopes, disinformation. You know, Snopes, I've had my run-ins with Snopes and Mick West back when I first started. He preys on people that are just getting into the weather control, and I'm going to zoom in on that even more. That's just blatant right there. You know, and he gets you when you're not fully, when you're not like don't know all the terms, and tries to make you look bad. Like he tried to debunk the mass gas explosion that happened on the West Coast a couple years back, and then I debunked his debunking video because he used all the wrong dates. He didn't show the Europe model showed the same thing. It was just he's a liar. So look at all these grid patterns, and then little grid patterns. These are not atmospheric conditions causing this. This is an AI program that I've exposed before that turns the chemtrail sprayers off and on. These are targeted. That's why they keep coming in the same area. There's not a... This is all fabrication of the weather. And then this is the same stuff that's killing our plants. It's killing the aquatic life. It's killing the trees. And it's also slow killing us. It's got to be stopped. People need to get out there, put up signs, man. Do something. Go to the town hall meetings. You got to get a lot of people there. You got to raise hell. So yeah, man, just mega operations right there. Let me get it back out. We'll check one or two more. Now I'm going to try to release some shorter videos to see if that'll help try to get us more people watching. You know, if I can bring them in, some more people here to get them awake. We got to awake some of these people slowly, man. Some people just don't believe in this stuff, man. No matter how much evidence that we show, you know, I don't know what it's going to take, but we just got to keep trying because we are completely running out of the time. They're ramping up all the weather warfare. They're ramping up all the disinformation stuff, just like the healthy chemtrail disinformation. Just like they said Trump took over the chemtrails. That's all lies, man. That's all flat out lies. Heavy spraying up in Canada. So anyway, man. So I do want to check the West Coast real quick to see if we can pick up on any of the bunker fuel operations that's going on. Like yesterday, it was just wickedly bad. So we'll see. You can see the real low. If you can see the lighter colored grays down here, that is the bunker fuel that's coming out of the ships. It's lower than the clouds because it's being, ejected from the ground, you know, from the water, from the ocean. So you can just see all the chemtrails on top of the bunker fuel. The bunker fuel smog. You know, if they halted all these ships and all these planes, the Earth would rebound. The Earth would go back to normal. We would have blue skies again. Even when we get blue skies nowadays, they're not blue like they used to be. Whoa, we're getting some more of that freaky stuff up here. Hold on, let me just go real slow. Another little like blast wave or something coming. So yeah, Alaska, you're getting bombarded with chemtrails and bunker fuel. Completely documented here. Let's try the full disc. Then I want to put this on. Whoa, look at the spraying operation even farther down to the south. All right, let me, that's too big. Let me go to Continental. Excuse me there. It may not sound like my cough's getting better, but it really is. But on top of it, I've been sanding a bunch of sheetrock dust, burning wood, you know, wood outside, so I've been breathing in all kinds of crap. I'll probably never get rid of my cough. Wow, look at that spraying operation. That's a huge spraying operation right in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Do you think there's that many planes up here? Where would these planes be flying? There's only one purpose for all these planes up here. Let me enhance this. Let me put this on the microphysics, and then these will come out in a dark blue. We'll turn this off. So we'll see if this will. Oh yeah, I see the bunker fuel in the light colors. See, this is one thing about this map, is normally you can catch the chemtrails in the dark blue lines, and then when it's light like this, you can see the bunker fuel. And I just gotta let this run to see if it's gonna show up. Alright, yeah, we're just gotta wait on it. Oh, and I think I got the closed captioning figured out. I can't do it when we're live, but as soon as the video is over, I'll try to figure out to turn on the closed captioning on these videos. I've been getting a lot of requests for that, and I thought I had it on, but I guess you got to manually go in there and turn it on for each video. Look, there it is. There's that spraying operation in the dark colors up in the upper far left. So I want this to load really good. Definitely see the light colored lines. That's the bunker fuel. Right there. Big time spraying operation. And down here too. Alright, one more thing. We'll probably keep this show just a little short. We'll jump over here to the Earth null. Check a couple things. But yeah, make sure when you guys share this stuff, make sure to tell people, man, you gotta hit the notifications. You gotta check back every single day, because they will unsub people. They especially unsub the new people. Let's check the jet stream real quick. So the jet stream, look, it's actually way freaked out. So the jet stream, look how far. I've never seen, and there it looks like an eyeball right there. So look, the jet stream right here is where the chemtrails are being deployed, right there by the Aleutian Island. That's where the bunker fuel operations were yesterday. They're creating a big trough right here, and then it's going up right over Alaska. So you got high winds going over Alaska, and then all of a sudden, for no reason, it's doing a U-turn into British Columbia, going all the way down almost to Hawaii. Hawaii's right here. Then doing another U-turn and going up into, Washington, Oregon. So that is one strange looking jet stream right there. Let's go ahead and check the vortice layer. Still got the high wind anomaly right above the equator. And I'm telling you, this polar vortex is going to start shifting up, probably around September, October, and then it's going to be back up here. And then we're going to be dealing with the polar vortex, them creating, the Arctic plunges and stuff. Now I want to check the temperatures up here, just so we can see what kind of manipulations going on. You see that there should be no warming up here. They're going into the dark. It's starting to go into the dark time. They're just now seeing dark. Right here we can see an atmospheric compression event that's causing heating over the Antarctic. What is that, Madagascar? Oh, that's Madagascar. I can't remember what that island is right there. Easter Island, maybe? Or is that over here? I can't remember. Let's go ahead and check the ocean wave heights. So down there in New Zealand, you got some pretty big waves. Let's see if they're heading your way. Nope, they're actually heading away. So pretty good wave now. You got the typhoon, or it's actually a tropical storm right now, so we're all good on that. Let's check the sea surface temperature. You hear all the local meteorologists, the mainstream sock puppets, always talking about the El Nino. Man, there is in no way an El Nino going here. In fact, it just keeps getting colder every day. Like, it's really cold right here at the equator. Let's check the sea surface temperature anomalies. It's getting colder. Where's all the heat? It's up here where all the bunker fuel and the chemtrails are being deployed. Same over here by Greenland. Look. So the same two areas that we're watching the chemtrails and the bunker fuel is the same two areas that the biggest heat anomalies on the planet are going on. That tells you right there that the chemtrails and the bunker fuel have something to do with these heat anomalies at the surface. To me, it's just saying they're busted. No change in the currents. Let's go ahead and check the particulates. Here's the carbon monoxide. You see where look at the fires burning down here. So we got mega fires down here. California air is pretty bad. I wouldn't doubt if these are spot fires from the storms that come through. The upper northeast is always bad. You got fire smoke mixing in with this. Look up here, Russia, mega fires. China's always suffocating. India, same thing. Let's go ahead and check the carbon dioxide. These are all at the surface levels. So, yeah, nothing super high off the chart except for right there in Russia and here in California. I guarantee your guys' air quality is horrible right now. So you're looking at 450 parts per million volume. So bamboo down there, wear a mask, man. Get you a mask. And anybody else there, and who cares if people see you driving around with a respirator? At least you're breathing better air, and you're not going to end up with a chemtrail cough. Let's go ahead and check the particulates. Oh, here's the dust. Look at that. There's going to be no hurricanes for a while, man. As long as this dust keeps blowing through here, the Sahara dust, that's all being caused by the wind anomaly right here above the equator. It lines up exactly with the wind anomalies that shouldn't be here. And I forgot to show you guys that. So let me fast forward this one more day. So yeah, going to go right over the Caribbeans, the Leeward Islands, and then it's going to go right up into the Gulf of Mexico. I don't know if I can go another day or not. Yeah, look at that. All over, you know, Cuba and all them. Yep, it's going to go right on over into Mexico as far as I can go. And when you line this up, let me take it back to the wind anomalies. See, here's the wind anomalies. This is what's driving that nasty, toxic particulates our way. Look, we can go back to last year. That's what it looked like last year at this time. Notice a difference? Put the wind on there. That's what it looked like last year at this time. Now let's go to now. Wham. Tell me that isn't something going on with the earth. Something is wrong. And then we'll just take a quick look at the particulates. See, these are a carcinogen, man. Particulates, PM10s. These are 10 microns. Pretty bad for you, but the smaller you get, the worse. So the PM2.5s, these are what they usually go by for your air quality alert. And then when you get down to the PM1s, these are super nano particulates. These embed right into the brain, right into the heart, right into the lungs. These are causing tons of damage to people, and they don't even tell you about it. It looks like the worldview map never did load. Yep, that's just crazy. Anyway, guys, I think we're going to call this a show tonight. Make sure you get this stuff shared out. I will get the closed captioning on here. I want to thank everybody out there for sharing this information out and helping us try to grow this. We need more people informed on the situations that's going on. I mean, this is the air we breathe. This is the same air that our kids and our grandkids have to breathe. And we do not want the New World Order to take over. We don't want to be robots. We don't want to be transhumans. We want to be able to eat what we want. We want to be able to protect ourselves the way we want. We want to be able to keep our land. Remember the Indians? They took their guns away, took their land. Well, that's the last step of the New World Order. Anyway, guys, no fear. Armor up. Armor up spiritually. Armor up with some ammo. Armor up. Anyway, guys, we're going to play a song called Rise. And then we're going to play a song called Demise. That's our fight song. And then we're going to play a song called Pride Before Your Fall. That's our victory song. I'm going to jump over on D Live, pass out the treasure chest. And God willing, we'll be back here tonight. Thanks everybody that joined us on the conference call. If you want to find out about this new product, it's a sponsor of mine. It helps my channel out if people order off there. They actually have me a little page set up. And I've been taking it, and it's definitely helping me. And it's helped tons of people with cancer. You know, it's not like it's not like a cure for cancer, but it definitely helps. So anyway, guys, much love. Join us Tuesday nights on that conference call, and you can go back and listen to all the calls. I should have the links in the description. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. Turn it up.